from KTVU, Fox 2 San Francisco. Alameda County fireman accused of offensive remarks against driver in viral video, and they are stopping at absolutely nothing. Now, they want to turn every single thing into a crime, as if the Bay Area doesn't have enough problems. You are accusing a fireman of offensive remarks. I mean, is that illegal? What is the end goal here? What do you want? They obviously want to turn everything into a crime, and if you don't immediately capitulate to their agenda, you are, of course, the criminal. Meanwhile, the real criminals are going to run roughshod over everybody. But my name is Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I'm absolutely begging you.
I'm begging you, please. Come on, please.
It would help me a lot and cost you nothing. But if you wanted to help me even more and spend a little bit of money, you would buy my book, New York City 2020, Gotham Unglued, on Amazon.com. That link will be in the description.
To address a controversial incident involving one of its firefighters.
Now, he's accused of being caught on camera and making racist comments to another driver after they were involved in
And she just uses the phrase controversial, right? Controversial to who? You are the ones presenting this. It is controversial to you. And I don't know what he said, but I can only assume it's really not that bad.
accident. KTVU's James Torres is in Dublin now to show us and tell us about this video that's circulating through the internet. Good morning, James.
Good morning, Claudine and Dave. This happened in Lodi early Friday morning. A man who identified as an Alameda County firefighter got into some sort of crash with another driver.
Even that right there, a man who identified as a firefighter, right? Like, he is or he isn't. He identified as.
I'm a transgender woman. My pronouns are she, her.
So, I mean, I've said 100 times I can just identify as anything. I am an expert in any and everything. Now, obviously, I'm truly the expert at New York City garbage, but that's a completely different story.
They both get pretty angry with each other, and the driver starts recording a video. Take a look.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm Mexican.
Oh, I'm a Mexican. Oh, okay.
Filipino? What the f are you?
Filipino?
What are you?
Don't be racist.
What are you, bro?
Don't be racist.
What are you?
It doesn't matter.
I'm racist. I'm a firefighter.
Yeah, the video shows the driver, Vath Touch, sitting in his car after the collision. The firefighter approaches him and starts questioning why he sped up when he tried to pass him. He accuses Touch of speeding recklessly, and Touch tells him the police are coming. That's when the video captures the firefighter calling Touch a, quote, Mexican or Filipino, and he tells Touch he's a...
And is he or is he not? So, yeah, they're a little bit angry. They're arguing over a car accident, but he said that he might be a specific nationality, and that, of course, is offensive, because I guess you're just supposed to ignore all of that.
Firefighter and suggests that he go back to his, quote, $10 an hour lawn job. Touch spoke on his experience.
I started the video because I saw him coming. I was going to get out of my car to go talk to him. But then when I saw him coming...
And look at him. Look at this coward. I don't know who's in the wrong as far as this driving is concerned, but it's clear it's nighttime. He's taking an interview with the news, and he's loving it. He's like, yes, I'm going to cash a check because a firefighter called me a Mexican.
Rushing up, I decided, no, I'm just going to play it safe and press record and see what he wants. So he came up and started saying all those stuff to me.
I have to make the turn. I have to come into the lane because
The Alameda County Fire Chief did address the video in a statement last night, saying some of the language heard in the video does not align with values and standards of the fire department. That statement goes on to say, quote, our department is committed to gathering all the facts, and we are addressing the situation in a manner that reflects our dedication to integrity, professionalism, and community trust. We still don't know who that firefighter is. We haven't been given a name just yet, or whether his job status is affected, but we are expecting to hear.
Why would his job status be affected? Right? I mean, because he got in an argument after a car accident. Now, maybe you could fire him for the car accident if he doesn't know how to drive. But, I mean, look, you guys are looking for any tiny little semblance of racism to turn. This isn't even news. But now here's KTVU telling you that, I mean, you guys are the bastion of liberalism out there in the Bay Area, San Francisco, California, whatever. So why is this always happening in your neck of the woods? Why is this not happening in Montana or Kentucky or Texas? Even, I mean, when you talk about Texas, you had and this flew largely under the radar, but a mayor who was running for re-election did a Jussie Smollett style hate hoax.
Gina, Eric, people out here are scratching their heads, asking themselves, aren't we in 2024? Both the mayor and the chief of police tell us that they find this very, very troubling.
I pull out a note. It said, get out of this race now.
A threatening political package with a pervasive punch.
It's a slap, especially in a black man's face, that he has to open up mail like that and see something like that.
But this is the problem.
Much more on this from the fire chief later this morning at 9 o'clock. We're live this morning from Dublin.
Yeah, okay. Obviously, this is not news, but these people are grasping at straws to make somebody into a villain. And here's one more, again from KTVU, Fox 2 News. Racist slur found on San Francisco restaurant receipt. So we have to make a huge deal out of this. And I believe the firefighter incident was in Lodi, so they're probably not as bad as San Francisco or Oakland or Berkeley, any of that stuff. But San Francisco, are you going to pretend that if every single other thing was just going swimmingly, then yes, this would be news. Otherwise, it's just you trying to mask all of your other problems.
A restaurant on Valencia Street in San Francisco says it has fired an employee who left a racist message.
Valencia Street, right? I mean, it gets no, Valencia, Mission, right? It gets no worse. Well, it does get worse than that. But obviously they have loads of problems. And the restaurant receipt is what they're reporting on. And don't get me wrong, these people, they report millions of stories, dozens of stories every single day, but this should not even be news, and here I am talking about it.
On a customer's receipt, KTVU's Christian Kaftan live tonight in San Francisco after speaking with the woman who received that unfortunate receipt.
Christian Kaftan, right? This guy on the right, he is the same guy who made it clear that the overdose deaths were actually going down in San Francisco with a direct correlation to an uptick, as they say, in law enforcement. But the city also said that it was too early to tell if the uptick in law enforcement had anything to do with the downward trend of overdoses. So you put more officers on the ground to combat this problem. It started to work, maybe, and then you say, well, we don't know if that's the reason why.
2023 set a grim benchmark for deadly overdoses in San Francisco. In all, the city tallied 806 overdose deaths over the course of the year.
It's been a tragic year for overdoses because more people have died this year than ever before.
Well, the city set that all-time high benchmark for deaths. As the year drew to a close, the number of overdose deaths began trending downward. 84 deaths in January, 88 in August. By December, that number had dropped to 52 overdose deaths. On social media, Mayor London Breed noted the record number of deadly overdoses. In a series of posts, she said the city must continue to offer treatment programs and that, quote, we are also enforcing drug laws to shut down open-air drug markets. The downward trend roughly coincides with the increased federal, state, and local law enforcement crackdown in the city. City officials say it's too early to attribute the trend to increased enforcement.
And now he has been reduced to reporting on a racist receipt in that very same city.
Christian.
Yeah, that customer tells me that she was visiting family here in the Bay Area when she got that disturbing message on her receipt. The restaurant tells me they acted immediately. A family trip to California to visit relatives was marred by what one family says they saw in their receipt from Pika Pika Arepa Kitchen in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah. When you go to visit San Francisco, the worst thing that happens to you is somebody puts a racial slur on your receipt. Racial slur, I should say, on your receipt. That's what marred the trip, right? Ask Keith Lee about that.
In a parting message that included video of the Oakland Bay Bridge, MMA fighter turned food reviewer Keith Lee listed a few reasons why he decided to end his Bay Area food tour early.
I truly don't believe the Bay is a place for tourists right now. And that's what I was, a tourist. The people in the Bay are just focused on surviving. That's the business owners, the locals. The amount of tents and living structures and burnt up cars that we saw people living in was shocking to say the least.
It's a message blasted out to an estimated 15 million followers.
Francisco's Mission District on Monday afternoon. After ordering food, Whitney Washington said her family sat down and waited for their order and then looked at their receipt.
My daughter's actually the one who notices up in the upper.
Yep. And just like the other guy, she is loving this. She is anxious. She is like, yes, I am going to get a racial check from, I don't know, the city of San Francisco or something.
Right-hand corner that it says what it says. hear the N-word.
Washington and her family checked other customers' receipts and confirmed that they were the only ones in the restaurant whose receipt had the racial slur.
We were the only black people in the restaurant. She showed us her receipt, and in the same place where ours said, hear the N-word, hers only said, here.
Washington said
This is real Boondocks level stuff.
And what did he say specifically to you?
He said, sit down, nigga.
Yeah, okay, I'm sure. She's never once said that phrase in her entire life. Can you believe they said the N-word? I am taken aback by this. This is the worst thing that's happened to us in our California visit.
Returned her food, asked for her money back, and asked for an explanation.
I pointed to the here N-word, and I said, do you know what this means? And he didn't say no. He answered with, I don't know how that got there.
Washington said the employee took the receipt from her, but not before she was able to snap a photo of it. She also said when she asked to see a manager, he said there was no manager on duty.
I am so glad that I can talk to you to clear this matter because it's totally unacceptable.
Yeah, it's unacceptable. And this, I guess, is a Mexican restaurant with an Asian lady who's the owner. I don't know what's going on.
At the restaurant today, a manager said she learned of the incident.
But she's obviously, look, I don't know this lady from a ham sandwich. I don't know any of these people, obviously. But if you were going to be wearing a chin strap, a weird mask below your nose, below your mouth, then obviously she's part of this weird cult.
Incident shortly after it happened and took immediate action.
We fired the employee right away. I didn't know what is going on.
She said the former employee had no explanation for his actions. And to top it off,
a rapist, that's, was that Venezuelan or Colombian, some sort of South. I'm not sure. I've had them before. They're good, but I don't know exactly what country they originate from.
She says when she fired him, he tried to turn the tables.
Fire him, pay him in full, everything, and he was going to sue me. But I said, come, I have it in writing in the.
So he was upset at you? He was
Yes.
Okay, so she was going to fire the employee that did it, but we're not going to get a glimpse of him. So who was responsible for putting the N-word on the receipt?
Washington and her family flew home to Maryland following the incident. She says after considering what happened, she's more shaken today than she was when she first saw the slur.
I know some people use that term culturally interchangeably. That is not a word that I use in my home. My children don't use that word. We don't call people that word. Nobody calls us that word.
Oh, I was so taken aback. I couldn't even eat this food.
And San Francisco police confirmed for us this afternoon that they did receive a report about the racist message. At this point, it's not clear where that investigation will go from here. Washington, meanwhile, says that while she is shaken by her experience, she says she's also seen the beauty and diversity of San Francisco. She says when she was confronted with racism, she thought it was important to speak out and fight back. I'm Christian Cafton.
Yeah, okay. So I'm not even sure. I mean, she must have reached out to a handful of news agencies to make this happen. Obviously, it's not news. They clearly want to gloss over the laundry list of problems that are happening in San Francisco by highlighting some weirdo racist receipt. And you know for sure that she is Birdman rubbing her hands together trying to get a paycheck out of this. But perhaps more importantly, why is this always happening in the most weirdo, deepest, blue, left-wing, radical, liberal places? It should be happening everywhere else, and you just don't see it. And I've looked.